What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Good Old Texans Talk podcast. I'm your host, Jamarcus Goodo, and today I want to talk to y'all about the quarterback that the Texans will be facing this upcoming 2023 NFL season.
Houston Texans, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Hey, tell the boys, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Hey, tell the folks, we here. We here. We here. We here. We here. We here. Hey, tell the boys, it's our year. 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 Hey, we right now. We right now.
Now, with D'Amico Ryans coming in as the Texans' new head coach, I'm pretty sure this defense is going to be fired up. I'm pretty sure he's going to be fired up. Hell, I'm already fired up. D'Amico Ryans had the #1 overall defense last year. His defense was first in points allowed, yards allowed, plays ran against, passing touchdowns allowed, first downs allowed, red zone attempts, and first in points per drive allowed. Now, I wanted to look at the quarterback that the Texans will be facing this season as they play the Cincinnati Bengals, the Falcons, the Baltimore Ravens, the Carolina Panthers, the Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville, the Cleveland Browns, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the New Orleans Saints, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Tennessee Titans, the Denver Broncos, the Arizona Cardinals, the New York Jets. Now looking at the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Now, Jamar Chase and Derek Stingley already had their battles at LSU. You know, that's mano y mano. T. Higgins, Steven Nelson. I'm pretty sure hopefully Steven Nelson can kind of, hold his own. Joe Burrow, he's going to get his. Hopefully the offensive line ain't too good and we can, ruffle him up and get a couple sacks. Now, Atlanta Falcons. Desmond Ridder. Now, his weapons are probably Cardell Jones and Drake London, who was a good last year as a rookie. I don't see them being much of a threat. Hopefully the Texans, win that game. Baltimore. Well, if Lamar Jackson is there, they'll play Lamar. We'll see what happens with that situation with J.K. Dobbins, Rashad Bateman. The Ravens really don't have any weapons, and we'll see if they can get him some. I see that they offered Odell Beckham a contract. We'll see where that goes. Carolina, Bryce or CJ, and guess what? We'll have the other. But I do like what Carolina has done. They got Josh McCown as a quarterback coach. Thomas Brown, who is a young up-and-coming offensive man, who was their offensive coordinator. Frank Wright, he put in work in Indy. I don't think he should deserve to be fired. He did good with whatever they gave him with Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan, who had a terrible year last year, and they fired him because of that. They also signed Miles Sanders, Adam Thielen, and DJ Chark. So they made some promising moves, going to get a rookie quarterback, some offensive weapons. Next, we got the Indianapolis Colts. I'm pretty sure they'll draft the quarterback at 4, but I don't believe he'll be the starter. So right now, we're looking at Gardner Minshew as they starting quarterback, with Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman Jr. as their weapons. Now, Texans played them twice last year with Matt Ryan. I was at the first game with when they tied. That was a terrible game. So I don't believe that the Colts will be a good team this year. I believe the Texans will be able to hold their own against them. Next, we got Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram. I believe Jacksonville will be a good team next year, but they had their highs and lows, so I believe the Texans will be able to stay within that range during the course of the season, as seeing that the Texans don't have too bad of a schedule this year. And I believe Jacksonville may have a harder schedule, seeing where they ranked in the NFL last year, winning the playoff game. So next we got Cleveland. Deshaun's coming back to Houston. Hopefully I can go to that game also. I went last year. There was a lot of Cleveland fans. Texans could have won that game. They had Deshaun rattled, but he was, of course, rusty coming off the suspension first game back. So hopefully we can ruffle him up, get a couple sacks, and win that game. They also got a good running game with Nick Chubb and Amari Cooper, who was a good receiver. Next, Pittsburgh with Kenny Pickett. I believe we'll be able to contain Kenny Pickett. I believe, D'Amico Ryans will do his due diligence, being as a swarm mentality, Being able to cover their backfield with Najee Harris, and then be able to be physical with George Pickens, who's also the big physical receiver. Um, Kenny Pickett is second-year quarterback. We'll see what he can do. He won some games last year, but that's still, Mike Tomlin gonna squeeze him out 8 or 9 games. Next we got the New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr. Now Derek Carr, he's up and down. He had a Pro Bowl receiver last year with Devontae Adams. He had Hunter Winfrey, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, and that team was up and down. They made a run last year, but through the course of the season, that team didn't look too good. Maybe they can say it was a lot on Josh McDaniels. I also played the Texans last year. He had an all right game. Josh Jacobs really won that game for him in the fourth quarter, when they went 21-0 in the fourth quarter. So yeah, that's Derek Carr. Next we got Baker Mayfield, who's yet on another team. Baker Mayfield with Chase Edmonds in the backfield. Of course, they got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. So we'll see what we can do. I know we'll get a couple turnovers off of Baker Mayfield. Next, we got Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee. Well, Ryan Tannehill injury prone. Maybe when we won't play Ryan Tannehill, maybe we'll get Malik Willis, or maybe, because I've seen reports that they want to trade up to the number 3 pick, so that maybe they want to get a quarterback. So we'll see what Tennessee does at quarterback. They also got Derrick Henry. You know what he gonna do. He always give us a hard time. But hopefully our run defense will be better under Mediocre Ryans with the addition of Sheldon Rankins. Malik Collins still there. And with some better linebacker play, hopefully we can be able to contain Derrick Henry more. And Treylon Burks, who's a second-year receiver, didn't do too much last year. Kid got asthma, so we'll see how he can turn out. Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson, new head coach Sean Payton, Javonte Williams in the backfield with Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. Also played them last year. They beat us 13-9. Could have won that game if we had better quarterback play. Defense played good. So defense will be better this year. So hopefully we can play better than we did last year and get the best of Russell Wilson in this game. Next with Arizona, we got the Kyler Murray. Might not see Kyler Murray. Got an ACL injury, so most likely we'll probably see Colt McCoy with James Conner and DeAndre Hopkins if he don't get traded. So we'll see how that goes. I don't expect Arizona to be a good team next year. So next we got the Jets. Most likely they'll have Aaron Rodgers. I seen a report today that their GM said Aaron Rodgers is going to be here. So we'll see how that go with also Breece Hall and Gary Wilson. The Jets had a pretty good draft last year. They also got Jermaine Johnson, who was a defensive end. And they got Sauce Gardner. I know that's not offense, but they got a good team. So we'll see how they go. Robert Saleh, a play against D'Amico Ryans. They former quality control coaches with the San Francisco 49ers. So we'll see how it goes, man. Hopefully the Texans defense can be good this year. I believe the Texans have a top defense this year, especially facing these quarterbacks: Joe Burrow, Desmond Ridder, Lamar Jackson, Bryce Young, CJ, Gardner Minshew, Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett, Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield, Ryan Tannehill, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, or Colt McCoy, Aaron Rodgers if he goes there. If not, maybe Zach Wilson or whatever else the backup plan they have at quarterback. But looking at the Texan defense, man, I don't see us having too much of a struggle, man. We got some good pieces in place. I like what we did with a couple of free agents, but I'll make another video about the free agency. But with Sheldon Rankins in the middle, next to Malik Collins, hopefully they can play off each other and they'll be able to create a push in the middle where we couldn't get last year. And with Jonathan Grenard off the edge, I like Jerry Hughes coming back, but I'm not coming back because he signed a 2-year deal. But he's 34. He's going to be 35 by the time the season starts. So hopefully we can draft the edge So the young guy can start, and then Jerry Hughes just could be a rotational guy. Third down, get after the quarterback type of situations. We also with Derek Stingley, who's going to be playing more man, not just sitting in cover two. He'll be actually following the number one receiver, like Lovie Smith told him over the phone last year on the draft call, but we never seen that um, come to fruition when it was time to play on the field. You know what you're gonna get out of Petrie, Dog coming up making plays, Desmond King in the nickel, or Tavier Thomas. I personally like Desmond King in the nickel. I personally feel like Desmond King will have a career year this year. I feel like he fits that D'Amico Ryan's mentality, that dog mentality, that fired up mentality, that play with passion, wants to win. So along with Jimmy Ward, who had that same mentality. So him with Desmond King, Jimmy Ward, and Jalen Petrie all have that same passion, dog, fired up mentality, along with also Christian Harris. So I feel like this defense is gonna be fun to watch, flying around, making plays. So I can't wait, man. I'm fired up. I wish I could play. I want to jump to this screen and play too, but unfortunately I'll be watching from the stands or watching at a restaurant or right here at my house with the fam. So yeah, man, like, share, subscribe. I'll be dropping more content. I got more videos coming soon. Hopefully y'all like the Good Old Texas podcast, and I'm out.